Hey guys, it's Gino coming at you to break down UFC London, Aspinall versus Blaydes. We're gonna look at the four fights that I'm seeing right now as I look at this card that are really jumping off the page to me in terms of a DFS play and a betting angle as well. So, Blaydes versus Aspinall. This is a near even money fight. My money's going towards Blaydes. I think that the dog could get a win here. I think he could extend this fight, and the further he extends the fight, the better his chance of winning. Because Aspinall, I mean, he's a beast. He's on a 9-fight win streak, and he's just been running through people. Round 1 finish against Volkov. Round 1 finish against Spivak. Round 2 finishes against Arlovsky. Round 1 finish against Bordeaux. He is finishing people like crazy, but what happens if somebody can extend it? What happens if somebody can make him go the distance, especially in a 5-round fight? I think Blaydes could do that here. I could see him extending the fight further and then even getting a finish later in the fight by tiring out Aspinall. But I'm going to be on both. I think they're both good fighters, and I think this is going to be a great fight to watch. I'm really excited to watch this one. As far as DFS, I'm going all in because somebody's scoring well, but I'm not going to stack the fight. Now we have Hermansson versus Chris Curtis. I like Chris Curtis. I like Chris Curtis to get around to TKO KO, and here's why. He's on an 8-fight win streak. 6 of those are TKO KO finishes. One, Phil Haas in round 1, Brendan Allen in round 2, and then he's also gone the distance against Vieira. So he shows the ability to have diverse ways of winning. Now Hermansson on the other side, he's plus 100. I love these even money bets, especially for when it comes down to DFS, because I think people tend to take sides, the field takes sides, and you can really get an edge on that if you're playing multiple entries and making sure you're elevated on both guys. Now, Hermansson has 4 submissions in his last 6 wins. He could hit one here against Curtis as well. Now, his last win was in 21, which wasn't that long ago, against Edmund Shabazian, who is 21-6. He has been finished 4 times in his career. I think somebody could get finished here, and for that fact, I'm loading up on both guys for DFS purposes. I'm interested to see how much they cost, though. Again, we're talking about this before DK salaries drop. Paddy Pimblett versus Jordan Levitt. I'm going to go with Paul Shaughnessy on this one. He's the guy that I had to give him a shout out at back. He's a guy that has really had a lot of influence on me in terms of learning the sport of UFC and then betting and DFS play. And one thing that I've noticed that he says is, I'm going to continue to bet against Paddy until it works, because it will eventually work. I think that Paddy's a bit overrated. I think he's a really marketable character. I think people kind of gravitate towards him. He's funny, but I think he's going to lose eventually. I think at plus 210, I don't think they're being very kind to Levitt. I think that he's better than plus 210 mark. Now, I see what they're doing. It looks like he doesn't have that many credible wins. Nice win for Paddy. Continue to build that resume, build that market machine. It's a business, and that's what I think they're doing. But if Levitt can get this thing to the ground and neutralize Paddy's striking, I mean, Paddy can wrestle, but I think Levitt might have the advantage here. Now, one thing about Paddy is he does have a chin on him, and we saw that against Vargas because he got whopped against Vargas, but he kept going, and then he eventually finished him himself. I'm going to be in on both in terms of DFS because, Paddy is minus 260, which, I mean, that does tell you he has a good chance of winning. I just don't think that you should fade him. But if they price him up on DraftKings, he may be a fade for me. If he's 9,400, I might fade him. Jay Herbert versus Kyle Nelson. Now, this one's interesting. I think Jay Herbert's a hard hitter. I think he's a good fighter. But the one thing is, if Nelson can get this thing to the ground, he could win this. Now, because I was watching one of Jay Herbert's fights, kicks dude in the face, but the guy eats it and ends up grabbing him by the leg, taking him to the ground. Now, he won that fight, but I'm interested to see if somebody can take advantage, do some level changes, get him to the ground, neutralize some of those strikes. But if they can't, I mean, he's rangy and he will light you up. So he can get a finish here. I like this fight to get a finish either way. So I'm going to be loaded up on it from DFS. But I'm going to go with the dog here, and I'm going to go with the dog here to get a submission. So that's it, guys. Those are the 4 fights that I like. Again, if you want to talk or just Tell me what you're thinking. I'm on Twitter at TheRealGC9. Also, the Discord. We're always talking MMA in the Discord. A lot of sharp dudes in there. If you don't know what that is, if you don't have a Discord, I encourage you to join the DFS Army, especially since most of us are playing NFL as well. The DFS Army is where it's at. It's a great value. And we're always talking sports, and the guys are great about supporting you. I wish everybody the best of luck this Saturday, and I will be back with my full card breakdown later this week. Thanks.